probably as well know, is the Trimble has a new scanner out called the TX5. Along with that, some updated software, Scene 5.1, and then also additions to Trimble Railworks, the new version 7.2. So the TX5 laser scanner is just a compact, lightweight scanner used for shorter range scanning. It's the very economical, very easy to use. It has a full integrated touchscreen display that you run right off the scanner. Some of the key technologies is this phase shift laser technology. It can collect up to 976,000 points per second in a range up to 120 meters with a 1 to 2 millimeter accuracy. Some of the key features: it's very small and compact. I believe it's the smallest and lightest scanner on the market. It has an integrated color camera. All of the controls are on the touchscreen display. It's got a long life battery that allows you to scan multiple hours on end, as well as some nice tools for data management, some integrated sensors for making processing a little easier, built-in Wi-Fi and full support for many languages. It's the smallest, most compact laser scanner ever built. Basically what you see in the case right there is what you get. The only additional thing is this small carbon fiber tripod that kind of collapses down and goes with it. Weighs only 11 pounds, and it's easy to kind of move around and set up in complex environments. Has an integrated color camera, which basically will take high-resolution pictures after the scan is completed and then apply the color and luminescence right to the point cloud data. So you're not technically working with pictures, you're working with colored scan points. And it easily can process the color and add it to the scan data in the Trimble Scene software. Like I said, it has an onboard touchscreen display, so all the functions you need to set up and run the instrument, you can run it all on board. No need for an extra controller or a laptop or anything like that, or cables. It's all self-contained in one single package, and it's very basic and easy to set up and use. It also has some integrated sensors. It has a integrated compass and altimeter to provide directional and height information to your scans to make processing time a little easier and faster. Also has a dual access compensator, which adds the level information to the scan. So the compass always knows, or I should say the scanner always knows a rough position of where north is, so it helps orient your scans in the software as it's processing. As well as the altimeter has a, it can detect the height, so for complicated scans of, let's say, buildings with multiple floors, it helps figure things out and put the right scan at the right level. And then, as you can see, it'll also reduce the number of needed targets. It makes the registration process a lot easier. Scanner also has built-in Wi-Fi, so any device that is flash enabled, so any tablet or phone or laptop, more particularly an Android type application that supports flash, can actually connect to and remotely run the scanner. So basically the display on the scanner's touchscreen is what you see on your tablet or phone, and it allows you to put it maybe in not so human-friendly areas and run it remotely, as well as stay out of the scans and stay in a safe place. Trimble Scene software is just a software that will efficiently process and manage your TX5 data. It has some automatic registration and processing tools that basically you can process a whole scan without having to manually do anything. It has some enhanced quality viewing and navigation functions, easily control the display and export of your data, and then also Scene Web Share to publish the scan projects to the web and allow customers and partners to easily view it. So some improvements to 5.1, better use of computing power, more utilization of multi-core machines to speed up the processing, some flexible licensing options. Previously the licensing was tied to a single machine. Now some more flexible options with a USB hardware key can be utilized to run the software on multiple machines, similar to TBC. Some more efficient workflow, better automatic registration, some Scene Web Share enhancements. To just give you a couple screen snaps, here is what they call a planar view of a scan in a grayscale before you colorize it. Here's that same planar view once the color is applied. Keep in mind this looks like a photo, but these are actual scan points that we can select and use. And then here's what they call a 3D view with some of the data stripped out. You can see kind of the black voided areas. That's where data is missing. Automatic scan processing, so you can have it automatically colorize, recognize your spheres, checkerboards, corner points, planes, rectangles, create a point cloud, and then also have it run a fine registration, which is more of an automated cloud registration to even tighten up your scan, and then also apply filters to remove any dark or stray scan points. So basically you can process this whole scan project automatically with no manual interaction or manipulation. The software does all the work for you. A new tool is this clipping box. You can use the clipping box to isolate any areas. You can rotate it, shrink it, make it bigger or smaller to isolate scan data for a little ease of exporting the data you want a little bit easier. Some more support for exporting point clouds. You can see all the common file formats, including the E57 file format, which you can then export out to use in another application such as Railworks, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Also Scene Web Share. This is a free service which allows you to publish your scan data to a web share server. You have all of your scan station kind of previews here. You can double click on it, pull up what they call the 3D quick view here, and you're basically navigating around looking at scan data. And you have your overview map up here, which is a kind of a top-down view. All these circles are your scan positions, and whichever scan you have loaded down below, you can see the direction and the zoom amount display in real time up on top. So what you can do in here is basically you can take measurements. You can pick right on the scan data. You can measure, say, from here to here, populate a measurement. You can add tags and notes and hyperlink files to it. In the overview map up top, you can do area calculations. You can take screen snaps, email them, download the files, print it. You can do a lot from WebShare, and this is a free service that you can publish it, and then your customers and clients can access this data and work with it without having to have the full software loaded. All right. Oops. Keep going here. Trimble Railworks 7.2. So there's been some enhancements to Trimble Railworks. The new Railworks is now only supported on Windows 7 64-bit. So if you're a Railworks user, then you have an XP, Vista, or a 7 32-bit machine, the new Railworks will not work on that. It's 64-bit Windows 7 only. They've changed the interface a little bit and the colors to make it have more of the new Trimble feel, and it has some more optimized workflows that make things a little bit easier. A new tool is the Scan Explorer. It's basically what Trimble calls a 2.5D view. It's a separate program/window that opens up outside of Railworks but is tied to it. And what I mean by that is you can visualize your project from station to station and see each scan station. You can view them in full detail. You can take measurements, and you can also clip out scan data, tell it to create it down here, and it'll automatically send the scan data you've selected over to Railworks with the density that you specified. So you no longer have to load a full scan in Railworks and kind of work around with it. You can use the Scan Explorer to only bring in the scan data that you want to work with. The other thing you can do there is you can measure directly in the Scan Explorer and then export those measurements, as you can see here, as objects into Railworks. There's some pretty cool measurement tools. There's a point-to-point measurement. There's also a vertical distance measurement. So a good example of that would be, say, a bridge, for example. You could scan a bridge, pick a point on the bottom of the bridge, and then it just wants you to pick a plane to measure it to. You could pick your road surface, and it would automatically give you a vertical distance from that bridge point down to that road surface. As well as there's a horizontal measurement for a perpendicular measurement as well. The Scan Explorer also lets you select points and extract it from either the station that you're currently in or all the stations and load it into Railworks, which then allows you to export the file out. So this is kind of the rectangular view. Notice it's curved just because of the 360 view of the scan, and you've got some other options. You can have it include that data from all of the scans. as well as set the sampling distance, what you want your point density to be. It'll give you estimated points. You create it, and it dumps just those points that you selected right into Railworks. Also, you can easily create screen snapshots in the Scan Explorer window and save those as PDF files. So if you make measurements and things like that, you can create a PDF screen snap and then send that file, and they can see it with all of your measurements and your information. New tool is the key plan tool. You can create this ortho image view or this plan view that you can define for making point extraction a little bit easier. You can orient these data sets to relative features. So what they mean is you can take a floor and align it that way, or you can align it so the wall is facing up, and just to make things a little bit easier, do top views, side views, things like that, and then you can just draw a box around the area of information you want and extract it out into Railworks that way as well. Some other improved tools are the target-based registration to make things a lot easier. Similar to Trimble Scene, this will do automatic target detection and registration for your scans. It gives you some more high-level reporting, so you will see a scan fit value not only for the project as a whole, but you'll see it for each individual scan, and also broken down to each individual scan target. So you get a really nice spreadsheet and a report you can create that tells you exactly how every target in your scan is fit in the units that you desire. Also, you have a target analyzer tool that starts directly from the registration tool that you can manually extract targets, and you can perform matching functions, have it auto match, and fit everything together for you on the fly as you're trying to manually pick targets. So this is the target analyzer tool. You get a couple of windows. You get the 2.5D, or I guess they call it a 2D view, where you can see the scan data. You choose your target based on if you think it's a checkerboard or a sphere. It'll pull up a 3D view and show you how it fits the target to the actual scan data. You can decide if it's good or not, and then you can accept it and refit the scans based on that. Other support or other options in Railworks is full support now for the Trimble TX5. So there's full support for the FLS file format, including the color and the luminance of the scan data, and the conversion from the FLS, which is the scan file, to the TZF file, which is what Railworks uses, has been sped up, and the import process is a lot faster. There's also some enhanced project management features, as well as supporting the full export of the the LAS scan file format. I'm going to blast through questions because we're running over in time. We'll take them at the end.